Hi, let's go over some deep stuff and have some fun, okay? So, looking at this, primordial waters plus the 72.8 or the half, the HAF, the half life, okay, which all deals with an id character that is operating in the pseudo fifth age, okay? I was born 92. I'm operating in the pseudo fifth age going into the real Hook. Okay, the Hook is like Captain Hook. It's also the Ezekiel 38 Hook, and that would be when there's mutants and things involved, and that's when you have the real tribulation. Okay, which we are going into that. Okay, it's already starting with all this bitterness that we're going to go over today. So the 65 is Tyr, 33 is Christ, of course, Garden, First Flock, Tyr, and Gondel. Okay. Gondel as Jesus there. Gondel, the Norwegian myth. So Austin Powers, the French powers, would be this 1.99 here. And that kind of means like people knowing more than you and like, oh, then you got to do this sort of thing. And like, they don't say it like that. They just say it in a doom type scenario where they make you think like that you don't know enough to even have your own salvation. That's what I mean by that. And it's the Austin Powers, what about the Garden 6? You know, that they say after Austin Powers is doing his one-liners about the guy that fell in the lava, okay, the guard, okay? Right after they trick him from the boobs sort of thing. And that represents tricking from grace and mercy. But that's all deep set roots for people to rise up in the end times of, you know, the whole grace versus works thing with the prophets. It's different for the prophets, okay? It's not, they have to be well-rounded is the trick there. They have to keep mercy even though they're working for the Lord. That's the real trick there with the prophets. So, and the horsemen, you know, all that. So that's 1.99, and they operate in the smoke. And I meant to say in the last video, Legion operates in the smoke as well. We are many. That means they're tied to 7 church and they're tied to 5 church. They're like the balance, the Kepri, they work even though they party, but they wanna bring you down as they party sort of thing. That's that Legion. Legion is a fighter spirit. You usually see it with alcohol, but it's in the smoke too. So then the Flooded 3 is kind of like that swim cap bottle that we went over with the multitude of Pergamus. It's as per game Oz. Like when I used to play a video game at my friend Cody's house, who represents Tyr, I kept dying all the time. My character would die always and, you know, respawn always, but like it was kind of annoying, you know, and that's represents the Pergamus. Like having the many lives, like they're always flooded out. They always flood out but come back. They never get to the rapture. They're always just flooded and then they have to rebuild sort of thing. That's their whole life. It's a cycle. That's what Grok shows with the maps and everything. Yeah, of course, he shows more than that, but that's just another way of looking at it. Then, of course, you've got the 101165. Kind of like how we're at the end of the 6, you know, all that theory, the end of the 6 age. Well, before the 1,000-year reign, the real 5th age as 11 is what that is. As that Isaiah 11, the Hook is C. That's just, you know, I've studied this as well, and I see that Hook as, with my channel, everything that we've done with putting all the pieces of the character and all these guys, all these horsemen back together for the idol worship that'll go on. It's kind of like the Hook is 11. Then you've got the Ja Rule from kind of like the Minaj from Fast and Furious, the Uriah heart, always thinking that you don't have your woman sort of thing. That's the Uriah heart of that. And this is all tied to that Keetvan, the remnant of Keetvan that lives as Pentwater long life. I did earlier videos on that, but Ezekiel 17, the relationship of it to the woman and to Ben V, all that tied in. That would be the 0.696 there. Then the primordial water over here are just the ages that, different channels have gone over, like Ben V and whatnot, of Ram, Bronze, Pisces. Then all this pseudo-fifth age, the lion eagle, the rib bear, and the foul leopard is what that is there of those. So that's all in my lifetime sort of thing. This is just another way of looking at it. So just keep grace and mercy, keep a mercy mindset. But that would complete that. So I'll show you this. Now, we're getting into some deep things here. The seed of Ron Jeremy. He was in the news the other day for rape charges, okay? I'm talking about the tree he comes from in the garden. The seed of that. The porn star type spirit. What it takes to be on camera and to portray those characters, that type of ego manliness, okay? But then brought down from rape charges or whatever, like, showing, which is a judge of truth, okay? Because if you're on top, then you're raping, basically. That's all that means in the basic sense of the garden. So it's judging of truth, but it's just bringing down to show the symbolism of what's going on now, and of course my dog's name is Jeremy or whatever, but these are just, judging of truth. Okay, infected with the bitter root of can't say anything right, everything offensive. I've noticed this, okay. It's not in the sense, okay, follow me here. It's not in the sense of the political correctness. It's in the sense of conversations on the basic level. I kid you not, like everything now is offensive to the point that it's you're saying everything harsh. That's how everyone is operating now. It's all harsh, and they're not like the first time on a job or anything. It's not like that. It's just like everything has become so bitter. It's bitter trigger, okay? I'll write that. It's bitter trigger. It's right on the surface. At all times. Okay? Now, keep a mercy mindset. I'm not saying this is me or anything. I'm just showing you what I see. Okay? Bitter trigger on surface at all times. That's how I see it. Okay? And we're all affected by this. Everything offensive. Residue of Obama plus Trump. It's the jobs. It's that 106 deal that is hell and death, plus all the residue from Obama, which made the waters bitter. Okay, it's that wormwood spoken of in the Bible, in Revelation. It's all that mixed together that is creating this. Okay, and the way I saw it was a little bit of what happened yesterday mixed with some new stuff and mixed with an abomination. Taylor exachio yat teramos dolmel. Okay, so that's how that is. That equals this, okay? And what it is, it's a 1.21, 83, 73, 49, 34, 55, 99, 3. That's the way I see it, okay? I'm sorry, but that's the way I see it. So, now this goes along with this. Holly Willoughby, my mom's name is Holly, was reportedly left panicked as she fled the Celebrity Juice studio on Monday following host Keith Lemon's announcement he has coronavirus-like symptoms. Okay, all that. That's an article on the internet. I just took a little piece of it, and we'll go ahead and quotations that off there. Because that whole quote equals 24,197 reverse extended. So, you get 503, 522 is my mom's birthday, E414, E to the negative 5. Okay, that's an actual E there. I don't even know what that stands for, infinity or something, but that just shows up on my calculator. That's the way that they round it off. So E negative 5. Okay, so, and that's a 5 there. All right, so, and that's the 1.21, all that, okay, of this Taylor Exachio Yataramos Domel divided by 24.197. That's what you get, okay? So we're going to use this as a base, okay? This is going to be like the prophecy of this, so to say, and keep a mercy mindset. I don't know what this means. I don't claim to know. I just know that this is what we're looking at for like tonight, tomorrow, and possibly the whole week. I don't know, the rest of the week. But this here, okay, here, let me show you all this. Okay. This here. All right. So then this up here. Now what this is the river. It's winding, but not in a wavy not in a circular motion. It's bracketed off, so to say. So what it is, it's the river of the 44, 45, which are the presidents, residue, and seed of Ron Jeremy. That's the river there. Now you have these angles. This 9.45312. Okay, now stay with me here. Girls with guys as slaved relations. I don't mean that they're forced. I mean it's a Uriah way of looking at it, and it's the Canaan way of looking at it. It's that they are, though, like in the spirit realm. They are in the slaved relations, and they don't want to be with who they're with, okay? It's like all these spirits have, it's in the names even. The girls' names and the guys' names will be like how they took their deal. That'll be their names of who they're with. And it's their slaved relations. They may not be they won't be in an affair, but it'll be like just a dark presence. It's like the void is between them. The void between hell and our firmament is between them. Okay. Now, excuse me. Let me drink some of this. It's my Coke. Now, right there, my Coke. Okay. Some people like coffee. I have to have Coke. If I don't have Coke, then I'm tired the whole day. Okay, so, and I don't drink coffee. Now, the Dark Horse EC. When I signed on for the electric company, after I had laid down and taken it in the ass and oral and they even had someone kneel to me, sort of thing. Okay, don't put words in my mouth. That's all that happened. And I even had a predator scene of Get to the Chopper with this girl that was watching. I tried to help, and that's how I was able to even do it, was because she was watching. Because I don't have those feelings. I'm not gay. Okay, so we know this. Okay, I've gone over this before. Just stay with me here. That's how I got the electrical company job, and I had to dig ditches and everything. And all that digging, like hose film, is symbolism of the electric company. TACPANS talks about the electric company. Now, what it is, they all thought, my coworkers, they were like, how did you get this job? Like, it seems off from how we got it, okay? So they were all connected, family connected. I was the dark horse because I did it the way that the Reds do it. Okay, so So I was kind of an outlier from the start, and I knew the owner, and that was all convoluted as well because I was connected from him from a swim team because he owned the company and owned the swim team called Sailfish. Okay, so nothing against them. Don't put words in my mouth. Keep a mercy mindset. It's all good. It's all good. I'm just telling you how it went down. So I was the dark horse EC. So that's that EC there. Then Ab is betraying. Okay. It's all the betraying because of the bitterness. And it's bitterness built up and it's on the surface. So it's all, and this is all connected. The girls with guys as slave relations, the dark horse EC, and the betraying. Okay. That's all that angle there. Then 5.1221. That's the Bible silly refurbished. Okay, we went over that with the Con Air scene, that the Bible has been refurbished so many times and refined in the fire that it's silly now. You have to look into the code of even the minutest detail, and that's how the Gematria is too. It's all minute details. Like and it might happen literally, but it's all like very minute coding with the Gematria, letters into numbers. And you have to know the character to be able to read it. You have to know my life a little bit to be able to read it. That's how these things work. But my life is ingrained into everyone else's, so that's how it goes. It's all that Christ consciousness as well, all that tied in, but not the new age of that. Okay. Now, 7.1641. This is like the Benjamin Button, but it's happening now. It's the learning curve backwards from exhaustive bitterness. That's that angle there on the right. 7.1641. It's like everyone has regressed who hasn't moved up in the world since Obama and Trump. It's all regression of even knowledge and how to speak. It's the learning curve backwards from exhaustive bitterness. Thank you. Have a good night.